Could you say who will be opening?
Yes, Isselbeck shares his screen, uh, and it works. Yeah.
Do you hear me? Do you see the presentation?
Yes.
So we can start, yes?
Yeah, of course.
So this is the second part of our presentation. And please start.
Good afternoon. Today we present the next part of our presentation. As it was discussed at the lecture, a company can occupy different positions according to the leadership model. Firstly, a company may be an industry leader, then the main task of the company to maintain the first place among competitors. Secondly, company may attack on the weak points of the leader, breaking forward. This strategy suits the second company of the market. Also, flank attack is an option for companies that want to come forward, but they are smaller than the second company. Finally, the company can act according to the partisan strategy, finding a small enough but sufficient niche for itself. We think that according to this classification, Aviasales can be attributed to the leader on the Russian market.
So in 2020, Forbes placed Aviasales on the 10th place rating of the most expensive companies on the Runet and estimated the cost of it at $180 million. So let's look at a few reasons for the leadership of Aviasales. So the first one is that it sets its own conditions for market behavior. So being the largest search engine in Russia, Aviasales imposes its own conditions. And unlike competitors like Skyscanner, Momondo or Yandex.Avia, who are paid for the number of transitions, the Kalinov's company in most cases receives money only after the ticket is sold. So it increases the level of confidence of the partners. And for the sake of increasing the number of orders, Aviasales is ready for a lot. For example, it creates pages for mobile versions of partner agencies where users go. The next one is that a flexible company with up-to-date changes. So COVID restrictions are constantly changing, and tourists have to check with different sources. And after buying a ticket to another country, they have to worry about the rules of entry will suddenly change. And Aviasales has released an update in its application that shows the rules of entry and the presence of COVID restrictions in different countries. And this information is updated in real time. It appears in the application as soon as it is announced by the official departments of the countries. So next one is that it monitors partners, assesses the situation from the client's side, from their point of view. So since 1st September of the previous year, they have prohibited airlines from including additional paid services in the ticket order by default. Airlines that continue to add such services to the basket without the user's consent will be marked with a special icon, Aviasales added, that this support the development range of services offered by the carriers, but the process itself should be civilized. It is unacceptable to impose a choice on the user. This was explained by Max Kreinov, the manager director of Aviasales. And also they use aggressive marketing. They so the product promotion through situational information-based marketing has become one of the main principles of the company business model. In this way, Aviasales increases its media coverage, and the topics they started in social media. So they started to generate additional informational occasions that fall into traditional media channels. In this way, the company manages to maintain the interests of the audience and create its own brand. And moreover, continue promotion even in the pandemic to maintain leadership. So, in an interview in April of this year, Max Kreinov said that during the peak of pandemic, the company reoriented from the slogan "Let's travel" to the slogan "Travel, but somehow later." The company sharply reduced marketing costs, but not to zero. So they realized that the right strategy would be to continue investing in brand marketing channel, so that people would remember about Aviasales and choose it. Then the opportunity to travel will be available. And so they also increase brand awareness and image. They often conduct various promotions in cooperation with such large companies as MTS Bank, Maybelline York, Oral-B, Splat, Rittersport, Dove, and so on. The prizes are usually certificates for the purchase of air tickets or products of partner companies. Among the conditions for participation in the competition, there is usually a repost of information about the competition in social networks. It really increases the brand awareness and makes people feel that Aviasales is quite active now. Also, showing people for the cooperation of Aviasales with large and even leading companies from other spheres forms the perception of the company as a leader. Next one, please.
Okay, now let's discuss business strategy of Aviasales. A well-planned business strategy is really important for a company to maintain its leadership. According to the CEO of the company, the first goal for coming years is increasing the share in Russia. The company is planning to double the number of booked seats, which now is nearly 50,000 in peak days. The second strategic step is to find the markets around Russia. This is very important because there is no dominant player in these markets. Aviasales had a great exit to Kazakhstan a couple years ago. There are a number of other markets that are similar in terms of population mobility, which interests the company. The company selects markets in which the travel segment lags behind Russia by 5 to 7 years, offers users a more convenient product, and due to this, gradually squeezes out players who haven't had time to adapt. And the third direction of development is Aviasales business trip service. It is growing well now.
Let's turn to the material studied at the lecture, where it was said that the leader can intercept the ideas of competitors or follow self-directed attack. In our opinion, these reasons indicate that Aviasales adheres to a self-directed attack strategy, as it monitors the market and does everything to maintain its position on it. What is the ticket search market and how are its shares distributed among market participants? It's quite difficult to give a clear answer, but according to the calculations of the director of Aviasales, the share of its company is at least 60%, followed by Yandex and Skyscanner. Having analyzed the position of Aviasales, let's consider how the company's competitors behave in the market. The first is Yandex. And now in the Yandex Travel, clients can not only choose a plane, train or bus ticket, but also book a room at the same price as on the hotel's website. The service allows you to select hotels using filters by price, rating or number of stars, as well as search for queries in free form. As we can see, the functionality is expanding in the same direction as that of the industry leader. To sum up, attack is the strategy of Yandex. The next competitor is Skyscanner. The functionality of this company is also expanding, which cannot but attract new customers. If earlier Skyscanner focused only on finding flights, today the brand helps at all stages of travel organization, including searching for hotels and car rental. The company offers flight options with the lowest emissions and has also joined the Travelist project initiated by the Duke of Sussex, aimed at transforming the future of the travel industry. Skyscanner is a leader in the search and selection of air tickets, but the company occupies such a position only in the European markets. Skyscanner is also interested in the Russian market and gradually increasing its share of influence here, but still cannot seriously compete with Aviasales. In conclusion, Aviasales began to make a profit without third-party investments and today is one of the most successful projects on the Russian online travel market with a turnover of more than $10 million per year. Thank you for your attention. And now we are ready to answer your questions.
Thank you. It's an excellent presentation. Of course, I'm really impressed by it, and I will count on that you keep on this level in your next presentation, and of course, you will find the result of your efforts in your final scores. So now let's move to your debate stage. What if you think of, please, you're welcome with a promptly question.
So, am I right that the Spotify team should begin?
Yes, 55. Are you ready?
Spotify or Tinkoff? I yes.
Could you please repeat it again? I didn't get it.
Spotify or Tinkoff?
Spotify will be the first one.
Okay. So can you tell us briefly how the story of leadership of the Aviasales developed during their existence before 2020?
Thank you for your question. We will discuss it for a minute. So I will start answering your question. Aviasales was created as personal blog of Konstantin Kalinov, where he published special offers with discounts from airlines. And since he flew quite often, this allowed him to significantly save on flights. Later, Konstantin made a similar website for the convenience of blog readers. A month later, the traffic on the website was near 150 people per day. So Konstantin realized that people were really interested in this sphere and this service, and they start to develop Aviasales. And also, it's important to mention that Konstantin found a new market, and the main competitors' services for finding cheap flights, such as Scanner, or Momondo, were outside the RUNET because they were orientated only on European market. So, at the beginning of 2018, the company localized the service for Kazakhstan, where a year later a third of tickets were booked on Aviasales, and then in 2019 the company entered the markets or in Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Azerbaijan, Belarus, and Ukraine. So nowadays, Aviasales is a really international company that plays a really important role in different countries.
So I would also add that maybe you remember in 2015 there was a show of Ruslan Musachev, It's Time to Blame, or in Russian Пора валить. And Aviasales were one of the first companies who decided to make advertisement integration, and they decided to support these new formats. And since then, the volume of integrations has grown dramatically. So they were one of the first companies who started their promotion by cooperation with bloggers, and it's also helped them to promote their business.
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah, the second one.
Do you have any personal ideas how this company can develop their service in international sphere?
for okay, this is thank you for this question. As we mentioned before, previous seminar, yes, perhaps the company should increase additional functions. For example, renting of car or the opportunity to rent some hotel, some accommodation for temporary stay, and but they will do it based on their business strategy, and the company has the capability to do this, and they are going to be stable and sustainable on the global market stage, and try to build more competitive company in global market by offering some additional products like rent a car, rent motorbikes, or some additional vehicles of moving in certain city. And of course, they are now working on launching a new type of product on their platform that will be announced in next year maybe. But we hope that it will be the renting a car and some accommodations in different countries.
Thank you for your answer. And the third question I wanted to ask, are there any special features of partnerships that Aviasales establish with different shows?
Oh, could you print the question, please?
Yes, sorry for my sound.
I hope that we have an answer. Aviasales often conducts various promotions in cooperation with such large companies, as we have mentioned in our presentation. It's MTS Bank, Mobile New York, Oral-B, etc. And the prices are usually certificates for the purchase of air tickets or products of partner companies. And monitors partners, assesses the situation from the client sides. And since September 1st, from previous year, Aviasales has prohibited airlines from including additional paid services in the ticket in order by default. So airlines that continue to add such services to the basket without the user's consent will be marked with a special icon. So on their platform, you can see certain icon or certain notification about it that Aviasales added. So it means overall, it means that Aviasales is taking a control over their partners in the cooperation, in the working with them mutually, and try to adjust everything for the clients, for current consumers and potential customers too.
Thank you for your interesting answers.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Tinkov team with your question.
Okay, let me start. Um, so, in your presentation, you have mentioned that Aviasales is a leader on the market. Our question is, what is the market share of Aviasales? So, at the end of the day, is it a leader or just a monopolist on the current market? I will print it.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, we will answer as soon as possible. Couple of seconds, please. So we are ready, and the answer is it's quite difficult to give a clear answer, but according to the calculations of the director of Aviasales, the share of the ticket, air ticket searched market of this company, of his company, of airline Aviasales in Russia is at least 60%, followed by Yandex and Skyscanner. Yes.
So,
It's easy, but
in your opinion, do you reckon that it is a monopolist or just a leader? There is no right answer. We just need to uh, understand your opinion on that point.
okay. In order to be the monopoly, okay. From point of my view, the Aviasales is not monopoly. Indeed, because in order to be monopoly, in order to have a monopoly market, they need to have more than 90 or 95 percent of the market, and they must control the market of air tickets search market, and this is not true in reality, and for this reason they are not monopolists. They are working in open market.
Okay, I see. So, our second question is, what are the perspectives of Aviasales due to the pandemic situation? How do you think? I will print it also.
So if I have understood correct, you are asking about the opportunities for developing of Aviasales after pandemic time, yes?
Yes. How badly has the pandemic situation damaged other sales and maybe damaged its perspectives?
Okay, of course, is each business um, each business is suffered from the COVID, from pandemic, but not much as it's expected for Aviasales because it is online based business. So in pandemic they have some reduction in their ticket sales, but now they are trying to increase the customer retention and try to attract new consumers. And this process is more easy. Uh, it's easier than before pandemic because people after pandemic they are want to travel. They have some desire to be in different countries because after this lockdown and sitting at home they have some dreams, some plans to visit different countries, and this kind of intention of consumers will make Aviasales work better and offer more tickets for consumers, more ways, more types of traveling trips, and of course the customers will definitely use the Aviasales platform because it is uh, uh, safer and it is more flexible. It is save their time and it is more reliable during this post-COVID time. And they are the perspective for now and for future of area sales is more positive and profitable, and we hope that they will increase their share as in Russia as in global market.
Okay, I see. Thank you. And
Yeah, could you please give me just 1 minute for a comment?
Mhm.
I'm not agree with you. You had the right answer on the previous seminar when you told about um, the possibility to find any point of growth in communication with the clients when Aviasales plays the role of the center of the information about the COVID limitations, about the closed borders, about the further opportunities to fly anyway. And in this case, Aviasales plays absolutely new role, not a platform to buy tickets, but a platform to find all the necessary information. And this is the opportunity that they found and they used. And they are so flexible in this case, so they are able to find the point of growth in case of the current limitations, in the case of the death of the airplane flights. I fly a lot, but I never used IOL sales because I have other platforms to find the best tickets. But of course, this position to change the focus of their business and to find mm, any opportunities to be an information system is a great case for this market. Okay, thank you. And last question, please.
Okay. So the last question is, can you always return a ticket which you bought on Aviasales? Is it always the case?
Thank you for your question. Just a minute.
So I will answer your question. We think that it depends on the airline company because the purchase of tickets takes place only on the airline's website. So all factors that are related to the purchase of a ticket are the responsibility of the airlines. And also, I want to mention that we can turn or exchange the purchased ticket if the free cancellation option was selected and paid for during the purchase of a ticket or on the website of the airline company.
Okay, thank you. That's everything for the questions.
Okay, thank you. And today we will have the last presentation by the Spotify team. Please, we have a very hard time frames. Please try to be very quick in your presentation and of course in your debates. Yeah, I suppose that we have at least 10 minutes for the presentation and the same time for debates with each team. Okay, I'm ready.
Yes, we're ready.
And
Okay,
who will be the opponent for this?
Skillbox and Tinkoff.
Okay.
So we will start with observing situation in Russian markets and world market. So, Vadim, please.
Yeah. Well, I will start. Unfortunately, we found information only for July 2020, when the company was just launched in Russia. However, this will not prevent us from comparing music services. As you can see on the graph, the number of people who have opened the mobile application on their smartphone, we can distinguish that Shazam and Apple Music as one service, since the music that is displayed in Shazam can be fully listened only to in Apple Music. About the number, we can suppose that Apple Music and Shazam, it's like around 10 millions, Yandex Music around 8 millions, and Spotify around 2 millions and 200. Yeah, the next.
So, Spotify is not leader on the Russian market, was not leader on the Russian market on this stage, but it leads to obtain leading position because of good reputation and a lot of pros of their business model. When we talk about global market, according to Counterpoint research for 2019, Spotify is a leader in the global market. It occurs 35% of all paid subscriptions in terms of music services, music streaming services. The second place is obtained by Apple. When we talk about the reasons of this leadership and the type of leadership, we should mention that at the beginning, before 2010, Spotify was one of the first free music services with additional option of premium subscription. The position shows that Spotify was for a long time a leader with flank attack type of leadership model by giving listeners free access to music. This policy is really successful in terms of acquiring new customers and getting leadership in terms of in area of music streaming services, but also it creates a problem. It created problems with supports from artists because different artists was against this policy of the company because they couldn't choose the option to release their content only to premium subscribers of service. So some of their releases were free for all customers. And it's created a lot of conflicts. One of the biggest conflicts in terms of this problem was with such artists as Taylor Swift. In 2014, she decided to not release her new album on this platform to state her position against the policy of the company and keep her assets on Apple Music and other platforms. In this situation, Spotify was on the side of listeners and tried to defend their rights on free access to content. It was their position. And only in 2019, they changed their policy, and the conflict with Taylor Swift was solved, and the solution was really creative and interesting campaign that was the example of implementation of physical marketing evidence during marketing campaign with a partnership with Taylor Swift, where during this campaign she released her new content on the Spotify, and Spotify with her prepared physical printed letters that were spread around the world to support interest to new content. Another really interesting sphere that we should talk about is when we talk about Spotify. Even in previous our presentation, we talk about their data analysis systems and their marketing campaigns that based on their analysis and their technology in terms of personalization of content. All this is possible because Spotify regularly acquires new companies from 2013, as I know, and startups that have ideas and technological potential to get all possible benefits from their inventions in data analysis area by applying these inventions to Spotify service. For example, I will. In May 2013, Spotify acquired music discovery app Tonigo, who was one of the strong competitors of Spotify. Also, they acquired the Econest, a music intelligence company, and Speed Scientific, that it's a consulting firm and analytic company. These companies become a leader on advanced analytic unit of Spotify. Also, they acquired social and messaging startups to develop their social side of Spotify interface. Spotify also acquired Mighty TV that connected with Netflix and HBO Go to spread the marketing campaign through TV services. They acquired Media Chain in blockchain startup. It's a blockchain startup that had been developing a decentralized database system for managing attribution and other metadata for media. And also we can mention startup Neeland that uses technology to improve personalization and recommendation features for users. So Spotify acquires companies that can develop their service and prevent using such technologies by their competitors. Also, we can mention their latest new features of Spotify podcast. That really such format is really popular now among the world, and they have had a possibility to establish it because of acquiring Gilmet Media and Anchor FM Inc. And also to enter to a new niche for themselves. So Spotify prevents appearing of new competitors and develops itself at the same time. I think that's all for our presentation today.
Good, thank you. And now we're waiting for the Skillbox team with their question. I'm sorry, I wrote a wrong schedule. We will have debates with the two other teams, Skillbox and Aviasales. Aviasales, did you have any debates? According to my schedule, you had a debate with Tinkoff team in the beginning of the seminar. Yeah, right. Okay, the right schedule is in the chat, Skillbox and Aviasales team. I'm so sorry for this mistake.
Okay, Skillbox, our question number one. How do you think, or maybe you know, what share of users remain after the free subscription? After this free subscription burns out, and why do they actually leave?
Can you print your question? And I need 1 minute to prepare my answer.
Yes. How do you think, or maybe you know, what is the share of users that remain after the free subscription burns out, and why do people leave?
I'm not sure that there is some such data in the free mode, so I can't say that like exact numbers of people of like subscribers who leave after the end of free limit. But I can say that even that people leave after free limit, it doesn't really harm company in terms of numbers. It helps like free period help to establish the first like to establish strong impression on the customer and prove them that this service really deserve like this subscription really worth this money, and if people leave to like some other companies with another free trials or to pirate content, it's like not so harmful to the company, and it's I think mostly for financial reasons of people, as I believe.
Good. Move to the second one.
Thank you for your answer. The next question is, I'm sorry whether maybe it was said by your presentation, maybe I missed this, but maybe may you elaborate on this topic? What types of promotion does Spotify use? And if there are many of them, or at least not one, which is the most effective? What is the most effective way to promote the Spotify?
The main feature of Spotify marketing strategy is always like change types of content that they provide as promotion content, and now they they main focus state on the data analysis, promotion, and personalization of marketing campaigns. So if we talk about effectiveness, they repeated their strategy in terms of using their internal data about listeners' preferences. So it helped them to be attached to listeners, and they repeat different variances of these campaigns. So it seems like it is most effective. Also, they have different partnerships, and for different aims of the company, they are less or more effective. Like when they wanted to attract more older customers, they started campaign on the TV with different TV shows and with radio. So it depends on the aims of the company, and they choose more appropriate way to promote themselves. I hope it was answers that you.
Yeah, so do they use social medias? I'm sorry, maybe I didn't hear.
Yes, their campaigns includes like if we talk about the latest year, 2020, there was a wrapped campaign that acquires data and publish in social media and in physical posters on the streets of different cities, where they publish data from their analysis, and also you have a possibility to share your specific cards from Spotify that analyzes your preferences and your listening experience. So it was direct connected with social media.
Okay, thank you very much.
I didn't get what it was the last question, or it was just like some comment to the second one about the social media. Was it the last question?
No, we have one more question.
Yeah, okay, you're welcome.
And our last question, if Spotify isn't a leader in Russian market now, but what they should do to become a leader?
Yeah, I can answer. What you had see, it is the graphic and statistic on July 2020, and they realized in Russia only 2 months, and we think that 2 millions. It is a very good statistic of users that they had.
I will elaborate. Yes, they released their service in Russia officially only in July 2020, and they actively started to acquire new subscribers. I think the main way for them it's keep to promote themselves by way they did before, but try to go deeper in the terms of Russian sphere of media, to be more oriented on Russian social media market, because we have different situation with the popularity of different social media in comparison with the other world because we have like strong local social medias as VK and others. So maybe after more experience on the Russian market, they will take into account these factors. Also, now they try to maintain different partnerships with Russian artists, and it seems like interesting idea to go from the artist to the listeners, to the general listeners. So yeah, that's how I see this.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, and our sales team.
Thank you for your presentation. And our first question is, what business strategy does the company follow? And what are the main goals? For example, it may be increasing the number of users or improving the quality of services and something like that.
I think there is no such a thing like only one main aim. Their strategy is to develop themselves based on feedback and interests of their users and listeners, existing listeners and users. Find new solutions for people who are now not interested in Spotify, and by these processes acquires new people. So developing and attractions of new customers is connected to the processes, as I believe. Did I answer to your question? So you're waiting for some elaboration.
Yeah, let's move to the second one.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And our next question is the company going to expand its influence in Russia, or is this not a priority?
Repeat the question.
Uh, I will send it in chat.
Thank you. What you like means by influence, like
The market share, I suppose.
as I said, like it's pretty obvious that if company enter to the market, they want to acquire like biggest market share as they can. So yes, it's one of their priority.
Yeah, but I guess that the issue is about the current situation in the Russian market when government makes a lot of borders to projects from the other countries, and in this case, in case of government's limitations, in case of specific uh, Russian law in the internet, is the Russian market in any priority for Spotify, or maybe there are in specific groups of countries that in priority. And please describe for the prioritization process of countries in Spotify.
Okay, I think I need some time for research. So there is article that said that Spotify now planned to enter to more countries. So they prioritize new markets and wanted to launch their service in now in 85 more countries. So I think they don't have like any problem with special restrictions of Russia because they not connected with the printed content like they are not media in full understanding of this term, and they connected with like artists. So it's more about artists in country, less about the service. So I don't think that they will face with problem in terms of different Russian restrictions to the media. If we compare them to the Twitter or something else, because they have different types of content that's not so connected with politics or something like that. So if we talk about the prioritizing, they try to acquire as many countries and markets as they can, and they are now pretty spread it and focused on the new markets.
Okay, thank you. And the last question.
Okay, this is also related to Russia. So why does Spotify, as the first created streaming service in the world, came to the market of CIS countries and in particular Russia only recently? Does this mean that the company has been losing potential profits for many years, or was it such a late arrival strategically planned?
Okay. I will try to explain it as clear as I can. Spotify have problem with these markets because of firstly there was reason that they expected a low interest in subscription premium, and they don't expect that local users would be interested in payment service, because we have a lot of pirated, a lot of services with pirated content. But they understand that the market develops, that people change their opinions about legal content, and after they see the success of payment services, they are trying to enter to the market, and they have the aim to enter to the Russian market even before 2020. But they have a problem with local right holders that and they're like with local right holders of Russian music artists. So their debates and like way to the agreement was really long for several years, and only now they have a possibility to solve all contradictions and enter to the market fully. So they want to make it as legal as it possible because it's part of their policy, and now they can, after all problems.
Thank you for your answer.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. This is it was the last question. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for your punctuality that you always keep on sending me your presentation before the day of our lesson. It is very important for your final scores. And as I wrote in our chat, I will send your scores till the end of the week because I need to fill our specific document with this course, and I will send it to you to your teams. Thank you for this lesson. If you have any question, please ask me. If you will find it later, please ask me in my mail. I will always keep in touch with you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.